Hello everyone and welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Shekina Chukufila. I'm delighted again to have you here on this YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to deploy a Turborepo application on Google Cloud Platform. So in this video, I'm going to call most of the time Google Cloud Platform GCP. And we are going to see how we can deploy successfully an application on Google Cloud Run. So Google Cloud Run is a service of GCP, is a serverless service of GCP. When I searched on the internet at that time, example or tutorial talking about that topic, I didn't find one. Most of the time, most tutorial that shows you how you can deploy your Turborepo application on Vercel, but I didn't find one or an article that talking about how you can deploy your Turborepo application on Google Cloud Platform, especially on Google Cloud Run. So when I achieved successfully that goal, I decided to record this YouTube tutorial. So I hope that you will find it very useful. For those who don't know what is Turborepo, it's a monorepo created by Jared Palmer. Now the monorepo is anchored and maintained by Vercel. So the concept of a monorepo is a concept that allows the company to have one code base with all their apps. So we can have a multiple team that's working on different apps inside the same code base without colliding each other. There are many companies in the world that's using this way of doing stuff like Google, Facebook, and other major companies. So, but here in this video, I'm not going to deep dive into monorepo topic, maybe in another video. But as I said previously, we are going to see how we can deploy a minimalist Turborepo application on Google Cloud Platform. So let's see that. To achieve that goal, you have first to go to the doc where I am currently. If you go to turborepo.build and repo, we are going to see this page where we have documentation and other stuff is why Turborepo, and they are giving so many reasons to choose Turborepo and a lot of stuff. As I said, Jared Palmer was the creator or the founder of Turborepo. So to achieve our goal, we are going to create a new Turborepo application. To do that, we are going into our doc and we are going to create a new monorepo. We are going to copy this and we are going to open our VS Code, our editor here. I'm going to choose VS Code and here I'm going to execute that command line. So here I have to name my project. I will call it Turborepo Cloud Run, and I'm going to use yarn. So it will take a little bit time to download all files needed and to install all dependencies. It's depend on your internet connection, but in our case, I'm going to move fast to show you the application quickly and to deploy that on GCP. As you can see, everything is finished now. You can see they say that the operation it's finished successfully here, and now we are going to open our application. So we are going to open our application. I'm going first to enter into and I'm going to open that. So here I open a new VS Code window where I have my project here. As you can see, it's a Turborepo project here. We have apps folder. Inside apps folder, we have two applications. We have docs and we have web. And inside our docs, we see that is a Nest.js application, and we can go inside with app directory. You can see the page is just reusing header and bottom that's coming from UI. And if you have just a look here in the web, it's the same thing. We have also a minimal app with header and button. Here we have text web, and in docs we had docs. So we have two applications, two Nest.js application here inside. And here we have our package. So package our shareable package in this project, so we can reuse this package inside application. As we see here inside this project web, we have this button and header coming from UI. As you can see here, we have UI and we have button and header. So we have a simple Turborepo project we are going to deploy, and this yarn lock is just there because they installed a lot of dependencies. So to deploy this project or this application on Google Cloud Run, we have to put in mind that Turborepo is helping us to build many apps inside one project, but you have to deploy that separately. So we are not going to deploy docs and the web at the same time. We are going to deploy docs separately from the web, and I will show you how to do that. And here, what we are going now to do is we have to know that to deploy a project on or an application on Google Cloud Run, there are many ways of doing that, but in our case, we are going to put our project on the Docker, so it will become more simple to deploy that on Google Cloud Run. So I'm going to create 2 Docker files, and they are also in documentation of Turborepo, the way of putting our project under Docker, and we are going to see that. To do that, you are going now to move to the documentation, and we can go down in the documentation here. And as you can see here, they say deploying with Docker. And there are lots of information they provide just to explain what to do to deploy, to use your Docker file, but I'm not going to read this, and I will give you the link below here in the description of the video. But you are going to copy this Docker file and put that in our project. As I said previously, we have to keep in mind that our docs and web are 2 apps separate. So we have to write a Docker file for docs and another Docker file for the web. So what I have to do here, I have to create a new file. I will call it Docker file. Okay, and so I'm going to pass the different commands I have copied on the documentation. And I have few things to change here. As you can see, that it's going to run turboprint here. If you take a close look here, turboprint scope web. Our project is not named web, it's named docs. So we are going to change everywhere we have webs into docs. Okay, to do that, I have just to make a research and to change that all dot parts to docs. And another thing we have also to put in mind here, we have to change, and when our Docker file is going to run at this particular part here, it's going to copy everything after we have built our application. So we are going to see few things here. We can see Next.js standalone. For to copy this part, we have to specify something into the next config. We have to specify here the output. I've just to output. Okay, the output we should put standalone. Okay, it's just going to standalone, and Next.js is going just to create that standalone project, and this output allows Next.js to just build our project with what it really needs, and I will share with you the link into the description of this video, and you are going to understand why we are using that. So, and another thing also we have to keep an eye closely here. We are going to have a look here. They are requesting us a public folder. As we can see, our docs application don't have any public folder here, and we have to create that public folder. And to do that, you have just to create a public folder, and inside that public folder we are going to copy and paste these 5 icons out here. So we have these 5 icons from yourself. So we are going to do the same thing here also. We are going to copy this folder and paste that here, and we are going to have also public because We are going to copy and paste the same Docker file also here. Okay, we are going to copy and paste a Docker file, but here we are going to change everywhere we have docs. We are going to change that into web. So here I'm going to change this into web. Okay, and everywhere is changed here. And don't forget to get also the standalone output here. So we are going also to take sconfig.js here, and we're going to pass that. So when I have just to close this because we don't need that. Okay, so we have our project on the Docker now, and what we are going to do, we are going to commit all change we made. So we created, just to make a little bit of summary here, we created a public folder for both apps, and we just put a 5 icon here just to have this public folder as it's required here. And we also need a Docker file. As I said previously, we are going to put our project on the Docker, and we are going to see all these commands run here. It's explained on the documentation, and I'm going to show that with you on this description of the video. And we are going also to modify something here to say that the output is standalone, because here the way that our Docker file is going to build our project, we are going to request a standalone. So that is it. So, we'll also gives you the link that explains to you the reason why we are using standalone here. Okay, now we are going to commit our file. Say okay, ready to deploy. All right. So what I have to do next now, I'm going to create a new repository on my GitHub account where I can push this this project. Let's go to GitHub right now, and I'm going to create a new repository here. Say new repository. I will call it Turborepo Cloud. So yeah, it's going to be a public project, and you can use this to as a reference to your next project. So I'm going to call it Turborepo description to deploy into Google Cloud Run. It's public, and I'm going to create a new repository here. After that, I'm going just to copy this. Okay, I'm get back here, and I'm going to open my terminal here. And I'm going to close all the stuff here, and I'm going to copy and paste those comments. Okay, if we get back to our GitHub, we are going to see that we have our project online. So as we can see, everything is online. That is the second step of what we are doing. So we are now going to deploy this on Google Cloud Platform on GCP. And to do that, we have to go to GCP now. I'm now on the dashboard of GCP here. As you can see, they write Google Cloud. I'm here. And you have to make sure that your billing is activated. To use Google Cloud Run or Google Cloud Build to achieve the goal we are looking is to deploy a Turborepo application on Cloud Run. We have to have a bill activated. So we are going here, billing, and you can find it also here. There is also many services or product of Google Cloud, but I'm going here. And after that, what you are going to do is to link a billing account. If you don't have one, they will ask you to create a new billing account, but I have a billing account, and I'm going to select that. So here I'm going to set a billing account. I will wait just a little bit. As you can see now, I have a billing account. As I have a billing account now, all my services available for me, and I can deploy everything on Google Cloud Run service. So we have two ways of deploying things directly to Google Cloud Run. The first way of doing that is to go directly here. I've just pinned a dot here in my case. We can go to Google Cloud Run here and to create a new service. So we can create a new service. It's a way of deploying things on Google Cloud Run. And you are going just to say it's continuously deployed. But this way of doing have a problem, and I will show you why. So if I just click on set here, I see this. I can choose that I will use GitHub in my case, and here I'm going to, or here I have to cloud build. Yeah. I'll just wait a little bit. It can't find any repository here. It's normal because I've never been connected before. So here I have just to click to manage connected repository here. For this project, I haven't been connected yet, so I have just to select my account. I'm going to use my passwords. So here I'm going to use my GitHub password, and they say okay. Here in Google Cloud Build, we are going to tell Google that we are going to create some triggers that will listen to any change to our repository, and when they meet some change on a specific branch, they are going to build the application to put application on the Docker, to build an image of our project, and to deploy that into a specific service of Google Cloud Run. So here I'm going just to see if there's any repository. We can check that there on our Google Cloud Build. We don't have any Google repository connected here. So we can get back into the trigger and connect repository here. And we have a bunch of remote service that handle Git for you. So we are just going to use GitHub in our case because I have a GitHub account here. Okay, continue. It will try to authenticate me. I'm authenticated into GitHub, so everything will work properly. I'll close this. Okay, all right, and it's asking me to choose a specific repository. I'm going again to write Turborepo Cloud Run. We are going to choose this one, and yeah, we are going to say okay, I understand, and we are going to connect this specific repository. So here I say, okay, everything is set correctly. Here we have connected a specific repository, and we are going now to create a trigger. This trigger will help, as I said previously, to just listen to our repository and to know if something changed into our repository, to build Docker image of our project and to deploy that in a specific Google Cloud Run. So here I'm going to deploy docs, so I will call it docs prod here, and US Central, I will keep it like that. Description, I will keep it, I will say docs prod build. Okay, tag, I will not put any tag here. Event, I will keep push to a branch. The trigger will listen to a specific branch. I will tell him, okay, if something has changed when in this particular branch, we have to build our application and to update our Cloud Run service. So here I'm going to keep push to a branch, and I will just use first generation as source. Here I'm going to use the repository I've just connected previously. I will keep as branch main. It's depend on what you want to achieve. If you want to create a specific trigger for any branch, you are going to change your branch here, but in my case I have just main as a branch, so I will not change that. But here, the configuration, there are many ways of doing things. We have cloud build configuration file, you have Docker files and build specs. So it depends on what you are trying to deploy. So in our case, we are going to, as I said previously, we are going to do things on the Docker file. But what we are going to do is to use, in our case, cloud build configuration. So By using Cloud Build configuration, there are two ways of providing Cloud Build YAML file to Google Cloud Builds. Is first to put that inside our project, or to put just directly inside of our Cloud Build. So I will show the second option. I'm not going to write that Cloud Build on my project, so I will just keep it here. And there is an editor here that is opened, so I can write my different commands here and tell the Cloud Build, I want you to do this and this stuff. I'm going to copy that. Just give me a second. So, and I'm going to explain to you step by step what we are doing so far, but I will give you also the link below of how we can configure your Cloud Build YAML file. So here, what we are telling our Cloud Build is, first thing, we are going first to build our application. We are going to run Docker build, and the tag or the image tag will be this we have provided, and the file, you have to find the file at this path. You are going to find that at apps, docs, and Docker file. And you should keep the project, so the main folder as the context is especially what we were looking for. It was not provided by the car run service directly. We are going here to tell him that the file, Docker file, is in this path, but I want to keep my main directory as the context, and we give that an ID name like build. So the second things we are going to tell the Google Cloud Build, after you have built successfully my Docker image, we are going to push my Docker image in this particular places. So here in this folder, we are going to put that there. And the third thing we are going to do is to tell him, okay, I want you to create for me a cloud run service, and we are going to update that. So update here is, it will trigger something. If there is also that service, it will update. If there is no service, it will create a new one. So we are going to give it a service name. It's called a substitution variable. We are going to provide that here, and I say that there is a lot of things that you can use here. You will see that in the configuration also. And we are going to take the image from this path and some labels that will go with that. You are going to provide the region. I'm going to, don't forget that the region is this one, and I will call it deployed. So yeah, here is some service name. Our service name will be called docs-prod. Here's the region, and some specification here we have added. So we have to click on down and to create a new trigger. So here we can send builds log to GitHub. So when we are building stuff here, we can those stuff can be seen on on our repository on GitHub. After that, you are going to create that trigger. Yeah, we have created that. We can verify if everything was created correctly, and we are going to see that docs prod and everything else we provided, and we are going to open our editor, and everything is set correctly. All right. Okay. So another thing we have to keep in mind before to run this trigger, we have to verify in our settings if Cloud Run is activated. If your project is a new project as mine, you have to verify if your settings is your Cloud Run is activated. This will allow your Cloud Build to create a new Cloud Run service. So in my case, it's disabled. I'm going to enable that. Yeah, grant access to all service accounts. Okay, now it's created. So I have give this one, and I will get back into my trigger. We have to run now our trigger to see if everything was set correctly. If everything is okay, we are going to see our application be deployed on our cloud services. So we're going to run that on main run trigger. Okay, they say build started on branch main. Okay, and we can go to the history, and it's building our application, and we can see everything from here. And we have different steps. We have 3 steps here. The first one is building our application. The second one is going to push that image that we build on a specific folder, and after that is going to deploy our application in a particular cloud run service. So everything is running. If you have a close look here, you are going to see that it's executing the different command we've put on our Docker file. So it's what it's doing so far here, and we are going to wait a little bit before everything is set correctly. So we have to wait. Okay, as you can see now, everything is done now. So we have now to verify if our cloud run service is created. So as this runs successfully here, we are going to go here to cloud run service, cloud run here, and here we go. You can see we have docs prod. Okay, and as you can see, you can see our link here is disabled. It's normal because you have just to say that everyone can access its security. I think, yeah, we are going to allow an authenticated invocation here. We are going just to save that, okay, because our application should be public, and now our link is available and we can use that. As you can see, docs is deployed on Google Cloud Run, and we are going to do that quickly. The same thing for the web. We are going to get back into our cloud build and create a new trigger. We are going to duplicate this one, and we are going just to change a few things. Here we are going to call it web. We're going to call it web, and we are going to remove that one here, there, and we are going to call it web for build, push, keep it main. Yeah, but you are coming here, open editor. You're going to change everything. Everywhere we have docs here, we can change that into web. Okay, we can change that into web, and we are going to call our service name as web prompt. So that will change everything. So that here, and we're going to save here. And we're going also to run our web here from here, and have again a look on our history, and we are going to see another build that is happening now. And we have also to wait a little bit, and when it will be done, we are going to see also another cloud run service created. So we have to wait a little bit. Everything is done now. Again, we are going to get back into our cloud run service. We are going to have a look there, cloud run, and if you have a new service, yes, we have a new one. We have web prod here, and we get again we have this link disabled. We are going to change that into security. We are going to allow an authenticated invocation, and to save that, to make that available into the internet. And here, bam, we have our web deployed on our on the internet, as you can see here. So another thing, we can see the advantage of doing things in that way is the fact that if we change something in our code and we push that on our main branch, everything will be built automatically. Let's see that. We are going to get back first on our cloud build here and on our history here, and we are going to change something into our code. Let's say that we are going to change this. We are going into our page and call it docs clouds run, and here into the web we are going to call it web cloud run. Okay, and you're going to write our commit line here and say teeny change, and we are going to push that. Okay, here. All right, so here we have pushed that, and when we'll get back here, we'll see our cloud build is running something new because we have pushed something into our branch. So we can reload our page and we can see that two building is in progress here. Okay, we have just to wait about that. It will take a little bit, some minutes, and when it will finish, we'll see the change made directly on our website. It seems like web prod has finished. We have just to have a look here on web and web cloud run. So here we are just to wait a little bit for the docs to see the change. It's still running. Just have a close look what's going on here. Why it's taking a lot of time. It's pushing the new image. Yeah, also it's done, and we have just to check that docs also changed. As you can see, we have created a Turborepo application, and after that we have put that on the Docker. We connected our cloud builds and we deployed that on Google Cloud Run. That is what we were looking when we started this YouTube video. As you can see, we have deployed that so easily, and you can do the same on your side. As you can see, it's possible to deploy your Turborepo application on Google Cloud Run. So I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to see what you will achieve with this information you have gained and to deploy your Turborepo application on Google Cloud Run. Thank you for watching this YouTube tutorial, and I hope that you liked the content. And if you liked that, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and to hit the thumbs up to this video. That will help me to grow my YouTube channel and to provide you more information again. So I hope that I will see you in the next video, and take care of you guys. Bye.